Creatine has long been celebrated in bodybuilding circles as the ultimate muscle-building supplement, but over the past few years it has crossed over into mainstream wellness culture, marketed as a cognitive enhancer, energy booster, and mood lifter. Social media feeds are flooded with claims that everyone, from teens and young adults to busy professionals and seniors, should take creatine daily for optimal brain function, mental clarity, and physical performance. The narrative is compelling, a single supplement that supports both body and mind. Yet while creatine does have legitimate benefits, the rapid rise of creatine for everyone glosses over nuances, inflates expectations, and obscures potential risks, particularly for vulnerable populations. The evidence for creatine is strongest in its role in high-intensity exercise. By increasing the availability of phosphocreatine in muscle tissue, creatine can improve short bursts of strength, power, and muscle mass gains. There is also emerging research suggesting benefits beyond muscle, including potential support for cognitive function, neuroprotection, and mood regulation. Some studies indicate creatine supplementation may aid memory, attention, and recovery from mental fatigue, particularly in populations under metabolic or cognitive stress. These findings are promising, but they remain preliminary and context-dependent. They are not a license to treat creatine as a universal cognitive enhancer for everyone, as the effects vary widely depending on age, baseline creatine stores, diet, and individual physiology. One of the most common myths propagated in wellness marketing is that creatine is somehow unnatural, dangerous, or solely a steroid-adjacent gym supplement. The reality is that creatine is naturally produced in the body and obtained from foods like red meat and fish. For most healthy adults, moderate supplementation, typically 3 to 5 grams per day, is generally safe and well-studied. However, presenting it as a risk-free daily habit ignores important caveats. People with pre-existing kidney disease or impaired renal function should avoid creatine supplementation, as the kidneys are responsible for filtering excess creatine and its metabolic byproducts. There is also limited long-term data in younger adolescents and certain older adults, yet social media often markets creatine aggressively to these groups as a harmless performance and brain booster. Side effects, while often mild, are another area of concern. Gastrointestinal distress, bloating, water retention, and cramps are commonly reported when creatine is taken in high doses or without adequate hydration. Misguided protocols promoted online, such as loading phases with 20 grams per day, exacerbate these issues and can place unnecessary strain on kidneys and digestive systems. People who combine creatine with high-protein diets, caffeine, or stimulants may unknowingly magnify dehydration risk, electrolyte imbalances, or gastrointestinal upset. Despite widespread messaging that more is better, exceeding recommended doses provides diminishing returns for most users while increasing potential harms. Another subtle but concerning risk is the cultural framing of creatine as essential for health or performance. This messaging can normalize reliance on supplements for outcomes that are primarily determined by diet, exercise, sleep, and stress management. Teens and young adults are especially vulnerable to this narrative, as social media often equates creatine supplementation with status, discipline, or intelligence. Overemphasis on supplementation may distract from the importance of foundational lifestyle factors and create psychological pressure to take pills in order to feel optimized, echoing patterns seen with other viral wellness trends. Creatine is also poorly regulated in many markets. Labeling errors, impurities, or inclusion of untested compounds in powders and capsules can pose additional risks. While high-quality products are generally safe, casual consumers may purchase cheaper, unverified brands that contain contaminants, fillers, or variable dosages. The perception that creatine is inherently safe simply because it is widely used in gyms is misleading and can encourage careless consumption. Finally, the narrative around universal benefit ignores natural individual variation. Some people are non-responders who see little to no improvement in strength, cognition, or energy. Others may experience subtle adverse effects that are dismissed or normalized in the wellness community. There is no single dosage or regimen that guarantees benefit for every person, and assuming otherwise sets unrealistic expectations that can lead to disappointment, overuse, or a false sense of security about health optimization. In reality, creatine can be a helpful supplement when used appropriately. It can enhance short-term physical performance, support muscle maintenance, and potentially confer modest cognitive benefits in certain contexts. But the trend of promoting it as essential for everyone obscures risks, inflates expectations, and encourages over-reliance. Vulnerable populations, including teens, people with kidney issues, those with gastrointestinal sensitivity, or individuals using multiple supplements, should exercise caution. The hype surrounding creatine illustrates a broader problem in wellness culture: the temptation to treat a single supplement as a panacea when the real determinants of health are consistent diet, exercise, hydration, sleep, and stress management. Overselling creatine as a universal enhancer may seem harmless, but for some individuals, it carries tangible physiological and psychological risks that are too often ignored in the rush to jump on the wellness bandwagon.